So tonight I have a sample from my great friend Matt from that Bourbon Dude Facebook group and our Discord channel. Um, this sample is a Bardstown Discovery 10. They've done a Discovery series, and this is the 10th one of that series. This is 114.24 proof. It's Bardstown Bourbon Company. Uh, they uh, they do their own distilling, but they also do some sourcing and blending. This is a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Uh, it was released in June of 2023. It's a blend of 6, 9, 10, and 13-year-old bourbons. So that gives it a blend of different mash bills. The Kentucky bourbon, it's 62% 9-year Kentucky bourbon that is a 78, 13, 9 combination. 18% 13-year Kentucky bourbon, so it's a 75, 13, 12 combination. And 10% 10-year Georgia bourbon. That's an and that one's going to be a 4 grain because it's 80% corn, 10% rye, 5% wheat, and 5% malted barley. 8% 6-year Kentucky bourbon, which is 53 corn, 26 rye, 21 malted barley, and 2% 10-year Tennessee bourbon, which is 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley. It has an MSRP of $140. I have had at least one other sample of the Discovery series, but I'm wanting to say that was the 11. I don't recall having the 10 before. So you can see it's got a very nice color. Definitely got a decent amount of rye. Now that I've finished reading, I can take those off. It's definitely got a decent amount of rye. Or that spicy funk, almost a hint at the apple peel. That's interesting. First sip's very good. Mm. So just on first sip, I get there's a almost grassy note. Um, and that's not bad at all. Don't take that as a bad thing. That's actually, I mean, it's interesting is what I'm saying. Um, but in the back, as it finishes, I do get a hint of that apple peel, which is interesting. I don't normally get that on the finish. Yeah, there's a fruitiness to it. There's a grassy note that I find very interesting, and then I didn't get so much of that apple peel on the second sip, but I'm getting kind of that bitter dark chocolate on the back of the palate. Right down a little notes. This one's good. It's like the flavors are definitely layered. It's not just all one sip and you're having to pick out different things. It kind of like comes in waves. It's very, hmm, that's weird. Just as I was about to talk, I get almost a nutty note to it. Not quite peanut, just there's a nuttiness to it. I'm gonna have to put a little bit in this glass because there's a lot here to pick apart. I didn't want to burn through this whole sample just on this video, but I'm probably gonna do that. That is, you know, when I first started on this bourbon journey, and I'd watch YouTubers and whiskey tubers and whatever. Um, there are a few that I know do tastings for a living and they know what they're saying whenever they pick stuff out. Um, and then there's some that are absolutely full of shit. But the more I do this, the more I start seeing, and I start seeing the ability to kind of relate certain notes. Now, granted, um, if I've tasted something you haven't, you're not going to get the note that I'm getting. And I always struggled to understand what they were saying, meaning when they said something's complex. Like, what the hell does that mean? But, and I still struggle to get like some stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Um, but this is one that I would definitely say it's very complex. There are definite layers to the flavor to this. That is just, that is definitely a solid blend. Um, and man, it's got, well, the camera really doesn't do it justice. It's got some legs on it. So, um, this is definitely one that I would say is complex. I've had a few that I would like, oh, like, yeah, no shit, that one's complex. There's a lot going on there. And some are just, they are good, but I don't know that I would call them complex. There may be a lot going on, but it's like, it's just good bourbon, or even good scotch or Irish whiskey, and that for that matter. It's just good whiskey. Um, the finish, the finish is good. It is definitely okay. So that it's not quite that apple peel note, but I do get that bitter dark chocolate. It's definitely there. This one drinks considerably. I'm not going to say way under its proof, but it's considerably under its proof. I know 114 isn't super high, but um, it's not like drinking an 80 proof shelfer. The finish kind of sticks around for a little bit. There for a second, I thought it was fading, but it's there, um, and it's not overpowering. It's not, um, but it doesn't. It's kind of slowly going away. So I'm definitely liking that one. I think I'm going to give the nose. Let's revisit this. I'm going to give it a 1.75 because it is very subtle. It's like the note, like I can smell it. There's stuff that I can tell is there, but I have to kind of inhale more. So it's very subtle. Um, what's there is good. Yeah, let's go with two. Let's give it a two. The palate, I am going to give that a 3.25. The finish, it's there. It's not overpowering. It lingers a bit. I don't know. I don't know how it would compare if like I was, because a lot of times when I'm sitting here sipping on some whiskey, I like to have a little bowl of just the great value, extra thin pretzels, the little pretzel sticks. That's my snack in the evening, and something I like. I enjoy it because it doesn't. The flavor of it doesn't interfere with the whiskey. So now that being said, I don't know how that would something bland. Yeah, it's salty a little bit. It's a pretzel, so it's bland. I don't know how it would combat that finish. How I don't know how hard the finish would have to fight to hang around. I just took a sip of water and I'm still getting a little bit of it. So I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to say the finish. I'm going to give it a 2.5. So now we get to the value. Like I said, SRP in 2023, I would, 2023 was 140. I would venture to guess that now that we're in 2026, that trying to find this one, that price might be a little higher. It may not. I don't know. I don't typically look for bourbons that are that high priced. Excuse me. Um, but that being said, let's say it is still 140. I have really enjoyed this, but there's a lot of other ones out there that I could enjoy just as much or more that are far less and obviously easier access to them, seeing as how this was a 2023 release. So that being said, I think I'm going to give the value a I'm going to give it a point 0.5 out of 1. So the value is only worth 1 point. So, and I'm doing that because while I think it is good, I don't quite think it's 140 good, but I also know that you can't get this one. I mean, you can get this. There's still some out on the market, but what I'm saying is they're not making any more of it. They're making other additions to the series. So maybe if I had $140 to spend on one bourbon and I was going for something that's very nice, higher end, 140 might not be so ridiculous. Um, yeah, I think I'm going to give that. I'll, I'll be a little bit more generous. I'm going to give it a 0.75. 0.75. So that gives me 7.5 out of 10, which is still in the more gooder category. Which, when I say that, now that I think about it, and this is irrelevant to this whiskey, I need to start doing some more bad reviews because, man, like the last several, they've all been like 7, 8, almost. I don't think I've had anything over 9 yet, but um, they've all been in that mid to upper end of the more gooder category. So I feel like I'm wondering if I'm being too generous. But that aside, I really enjoyed this one. I think 7.5 is a solid number, and that's my take on Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery 10. And I hope y'all enjoyed.